Well, the big discussion is who's going to be in charge of which metro. The ANC, in the meantime, says it is prepared to occupy the opposition benches after trying unsuccessfully to form government at several metros. But how did this dominant party fall to this situation? Professor Raymond Suttner, analyst and researcher, is with me to help us make sense of the developments within the ANC. And welcome. You've written extensively in recent times about the developments within the ANC. But the most recent piece, you're suggesting that this whole notion of blaming President Zuma for the demise of the ANC is not completely true nor fair. What do you think led to the ANC losing support, where support was taken for granted for so many years?
Yeah, well, President Zuma didn't come in through a coup d'etat. He came in through the election by the ANC itself. And what people have to ask themselves is not just what is wrong with Zuma, because there are very many things wrong with Zuma, but what are the qualities of the ANC that have led to this? And you've referred to the election results, which have been obviously devastating for the ANC, but they are a reflection, in my view, of a deeper moral crisis of the organization. 26 years ago, when the ANC was unbanned, the ANC had a sort of moral hegemony. People respected it. It was part of the cultural life of families. They used to pray for people who they'd never met because it had a presence there. It no longer carries those values because not just at the level of President Zuma, every level of the ANC is associated now with patronage and corruption. And I think this is manifested in the killings of candidates and also the fact that funds were diverted from various basic needs that needed to be provided. The organization has lost favor and is manifested particularly at a local level.
But now, Prof, a lot of high-profile ANC leaders have repeatedly expressed confidence in the sustained success, politically speaking, of the organization and say and still make the claim that it is the dominant voice of the people and the dominant reference point when it comes to politics in South Africa. What do you think?
Well, at an electoral level, the danger signs are there now that the ANC could well be defeated in the next election or not get 50%. But, and I also think but I do think it is correct to suggest that the ANC has done some very important things as a government in the post-apartheid period. There's no denying that life is better for very many people. Very many people, it's not much better, but I think there's no denying that many people have water, electricity, etc., who didn't have it before. But I think for these people to suggest that the ANC is like invincible and loved by the people is to blind themselves to a reality where it is no longer, also a coherent organization. There are fissures, divisions within the organization, and these are not about ideas. This is what is different from the early period after the unbanning. The differences between people relate to loyalties to one or other person who they hope will secure their future.
But now, here is an experience that the ANC has just gone through, right? Recently with the local government elections. And anyway, let me take a moment to go back to the whole campaigning effort. We're told it's 1 billion rands that was spent at least, and the ANC enjoyed dominant profiling in the lead up to the elections, the stadiums being filled up and the posters and everything all over the place. You know, the presence was there. You could feel it, that it's like it's going to be a walkover, this, everywhere. But it did not happen. And ANC leaders seem to be shocked or taken by surprise by what happened. But analysts, commentators were always saying that there are problems. You've said it, other people have said it. Why did they miss the point in that regard? And then, follow-up question, I want to check what happened at the NEC that was held recently. But where did the ANC miss the point in the lead-up to the elections?
Yeah, I don't think it was obvious to me or to anyone that the results would be what they were. There were these polls which indicated that the ANC would do badly. Then the polls were questioned by very many people, and we didn't know what it meant to have stadiums filled. So it's very hard to say whether enthusiastic support translates into votes. I mean, the EFF got massive turnouts at a lot of other places, and their national votes only went from 6% to 8%. So I can't say that the ANC was wrong to rely on a residual loyalty where people who are born ANC in their family were expected to continue to turn out. So although it was predicted, one never knows with the elections how badly it will be. And it was a lot worse than many people expected.
But now, in the the aftermath of everything, the Secretary General of the ANC said the voters have spoken and people are giving us feedback that we must introspect, setting the scene now for the National Executive Committee meeting, that definitely ANC is going to introspect and probably is going to come up with some big statements that show that there's a renewal process that is being initiated. What did you think when you heard when they issued the statement after the NEC?
Well, I didn't actually expect introspection of a profound kind, in the sense that at the moment people are loyal to President Zuma, and President Zuma is seen by most people as having been a very negative factor as far as the ANC's performance is concerned. Now, if the question of Zuma's presidency is not open to question, then it's not possible to have a proper introspection. But it's not just through cowardice that people don't go into his presidency. I think there's also disagreement about who his successor can be. And the Premier League, so-called Premier League, we are told wants Nkosazana Dlamini Zuma. And what this seems to me to point to is that we must look at the lessons of India, where you have dynastic politics, where the Nehru family led to Indira Gandhi, Rajiv Gandhi, and a range of other Nehrus being designated as Congress leaders. Now, he is divorced from Nkosazana Dlamini Zuma, but the solution, the one solution that's favoured, is a dynastic type solution. Now, what's happened with the Indian Congress, after being a dominant party, it got voted out, came back again, but it's totally discredited, very corrupt, and so forth. So that we need to see what lessons we can draw from there as well. But as to answer your question in a very long way, I do think, I didn't expect deep introspection, because most of the people in the NEC are loyalists of Zuma, and other candidates do not seem to have, or no successor seems to have complete support, which could lead to the removal of Zuma. But also we have to ask ourselves what comes afterwards. Will we have Zuma Mark II? Because the expectations of people are that they will get contracts, they'll get positions, and so forth. So will it make a difference?
But here's a point. What are the implications of this outcome and the fact that the opposition parties have now formed a coalition and have taken a stance that wherever they enjoy a majority as a collective of parties, they are going to form government and deny ANC the opportunity to run those metros? And these are important areas, right? We talk about Tshwane, we talk about Joburg, we talk about Nelson Mandela Bay. Overall, the implications, particularly for the ANC.
Well, I think this is a danger signal for the ANC. But many people think that defeating a dominant party is automatically a very good thing for democracy. But the Western Cape record of the DA is mixed. You still have a very uneven delivery of basic needs and things like that. So the DA still has to prove that it is able to meet people's basic needs on an equal basis. And I think I'm a little bit wary of applauding this defeat of the ANC. I mean, the defeat of the ANC may help sober the ANC, although recovery of the ANC, I'm not sure that it's possible. But the answer does not, in my opinion, necessarily lie in the DA.
Raymond Suttner, thank you very much, Prof.
Thank you very much.
Much appreciated that you spent time with us. Well, you know, it's more to politics, and it's beyond what we see in the headlines. And of course, the story is going to work itself out, right? What are the implications for a dominant party, medium, long term? Will the coalitions hold? Will the quality of services that we are provided with improve, or is it going to be same old, same old? We'll see in due time. Raymond Suttner, having been our guest here, was helping us understand that. But we will be covering these topics going forward.